The visual arts audition consists of 3 parts. Part 1, prior to your scheduled audition date. The applicant uses their personal time leading up to their audition to create one still life drawing, following our specific guidelines. The applicant will need to bring this completed drawing for submission to us on the evening of their scheduled audition. Parts 2 and 3, at your scheduled audition on the Dreyfus campus. The applicant will attend their audition on the Dreyfus campus. The applicant will submit their completed still life drawing to us in an envelope we will provide. Part 2. The applicant will complete a 30-minute, timed, self-portrait drawing using a mirror, paper, and materials provided by the school. Part 3. The applicant will complete a 30-minute, timed, 3-dimensional design, a paper sculpture, based on a word or idea given to the student at the time of the audition using materials, including black or white paper, scissors, and tape and glue, all of which will be provided by the school. Applicants are not allowed to have their cell phones with them during the audition. They should be left with a parent or guardian in the cafeteria. Applicants will be penalized if their cell phone is taken out at any point during their audition. Important note, all artworks, including the drawings and the paper 3D design, will be left with the judges for adjudication. The students will not get this work back. A notice on the expectation of artistic integrity. Submission of the final portfolio of 3 works at the audition attests that the student applicant was the only person to work on the artwork submitted for scoring. Honesty and integrity are expected of all applicants. Part 1 must be completed prior to your audition time and brought with you to your audition. Part 1. Personal still life drawing. The applicant will complete a still life drawing. The still life should include the 10 objects listed below, which are readily available household or personal items and an item found outside. One and 2, a pair of shoes. This counts as 2 objects. 3, an apple or an orange. 4, a fully transparent object made of glass or plastic. Other objects should be able to be seen through this transparent object you choose. 5, a fork. 6, a roll of toilet paper. 7, a crumpled piece of paper. 8, a book. 9, a small branch with leaves from a tree or bush outside. 10, an object of your choice that makes your still life distinct to you. Arrangement and execution of drawing. The still life drawing should be drawn from life, not from referencing a photo. It is recommended that applicants set up their still life somewhere it will not be disturbed until they are done with the drawing. You do not want your objects to move until you are done. The 10 objects should be placed on a flat surface, but can be placed, stacked, draped atop or alongside one another if the artist chooses to do so. It is recommended that the artists be creative in the way they choose to arrange these 10 objects for their drawing. Artists should create a unique and personalized composition that will allow them to showcase the proportion, the values, and the perspective, meaning the relationship and space to one another of the 10 objects in their drawing. The artist must showcase all 10 items in their drawing, but are not expected to fit the entirety of all 10 objects in their composition. Some objects can and likely will overlap with one another and go off the edges of the paper. Materials needed and suggested time. White drawing or mixed media paper, size 18 by 24 inches. Artists are allowed to use only pencils, graphite pencils or sticks, black pen, black china marker, and or black marker. Do not use any other materials other than those listed above. An eraser may be necessary. The applicant will need a consistent view of their still life and hard surface on which to draw. The applicant can utilize their paper surface in either landscape or portrait orientation. The applicant will need to light the still life to showcase values, lights, and darks. We suggest at least 5 hours be spent in total on making this still life drawing, but you may work on it longer if needed. Note on materials. Our school will have 18 by 24 inch white paper, ebony pencils, and erasers available for applicants to come and pick up if they have no way to acquire them on their own. Evaluation for the still life will be based on proportion, value, composition, creative approach, following directions, and completion. Transporting your drawing to your audition. Applicants can carefully roll up their completed drawing and secure it with a rubber band or paper clips for transportation to school. Roll the drawing up so the drawing faces inward, not outward. Protect your drawing. Parts 2 and 3 will be completed at your audition on the Dreyfus campus. Part 2, self-portrait drawing. The applicant will be provided with an 18 by 24 inch piece of white drawing paper, graphite sticks both thick and thin, an eraser, and a small standing mirror. The student will be provided with 30 minutes to complete this drawing. Applicants will be instructed. Self-portrait should be completed in a frontal or a 3/4 view. Self-portrait should include the entire length of the head and neck and should include a small amount of the shoulders. Nothing below the shoulders should be included in any substantial way. Self-portrait must be at least life-size, the size of their actual head, neck, and shoulders, but may be bigger if you so choose. Self-portrait may include your hand if it is visible in the picture frame. You may choose to include the surrounding environment or space in their drawing, but this should not be the primary focus of the drawing. Your time should be spent primarily on your self-portrait. Applicants will be free to showcase any facial expression they choose, as long as it's observed from life in their provided mirror. Applicants will be reminded that this is an observation drawing and must have a clear view of their mirror for frequent reference during the entire duration of the drawing. Evaluation for the self-portrait will be based on proportion, values, composition and perspective, following directions, creative approach, and completion. Part 3, paper 3D design, sculpture. The applicant will create a paper sculpture based on a word prompt given to them at the time of their audition. The applicant's design for this paper sculpture should be based on or inspired by the word prompt provided. The applicant will be provided with the word and definition in writing. Sculptures must be 3-dimensional. Sculptures can be created using black or white paper, but not both. Paper forms can be assembled or sculpted using the provided glue sticks and or clear tape. Paper forms can also be assembled by carefully folding the paper, if the applicant so chooses. It is important to note that the sculptures must be crafted well and stay together after the student completes the work. Sculptures should be well constructed and attention to craftsmanship, overall quality, and care taken when making the sculpture is expected. Size expectation. Sculptures should be at least the size of a clenched fist. We recommend not making anything larger than what could be placed on top of a student desktop. Evaluation for the paper sculpture will be based on design communicates the word and idea, creative approach, craftsmanship, following directions, completion, and the written statement. Thank you for watching this video all about the basic components of the visual arts audition for the A.W. Dreyfus School of the Arts. We highly encourage you to read the full guidelines for the visual arts audition.